An electrical pole caught fire last night on Stadium Boulevard. The culprit, a squirrel. Good evening, I'm Caitlin Rounds.
And I'm Michael Lindquist. Columbia firefighters say they arrived at the scene at around 10:20 p.m. after receiving a call about the fire. Firefighters say a squirrel grabbed hold of the center power line, causing the pole to catch fire. Columbia Water and Light helped firefighters extinguish the flames, which were out within minutes. Josh Cook of Water and Light says squirrels have been known to terrorize power lines in the past and calls the furry creature Water and Light's #1 enemy. Firefighters say the squirrel was the only casualty.
Getting a tattoo can be a pretty painful process, but a study from NYU found that more than 10% of people experience pain and complications for weeks and even up to a year after getting their body art. The study found that people with tattoos can experience scaly skin, redness, and swelling that is out of the ordinary for the normal tattoo healing process. John Stokes, a local Columbia tattoo artist, says that a good way to prevent these reactions is keeping new tattoos clean and protected.
I hear a lot of times people go out shopping or something after a tattoo and someone says, "Oh, let me see your tattoo," and they grab it, and here their hands have probably been on a dirty shopping cart, and it's ew. So you just want to be really protective of it and always wash your hands, keep them clean.
You can find more information on the study and more tips to keep your tattoo healthy on our website, KOMU.com.
The Columbia Regional Airport is one step closer to a runway expansion tonight after bids on improvement closed this week. The plans for expansion include extending one runway and widening and extending another. Some wonder if the expansion will help mitigate space issues after 2 planes ran off taxiways in 2 months. Greg Cecil with the Airport Advisory Board says not necessarily. He thinks the incidents might have involved pilot errors. There hasn't been a definite answer as the NTSB hasn't released a report on either incident. American Airlines did not respond to a request for comment today. Cecil says expansion could be underway soon. And the Mid-Missouri Solid Waste Management District held an event this morning to collect harmful materials to the environment. Starting at 9 this morning, people were able to drop off items including tires, oil, paint, and electronics. The items they collected will be broken down and properly disposed of or recycled. The tires, for example, will be shredded and made into playground mulch. The district manager says an event like this one is important to the community.
It helps to keep the community clean. We have a lot of surrounding areas who I'm responsible for, the 8 counties that I'm responsible for, who want to find ways to eliminate their e-waste, hazardous waste, and tires. So this just gives them a one-time option to dispose of those things the way they would like to.
Along with more information, you can find out where you can go to drop off your items at our website, KOMU.com.
The University of Kansas Hospital is treating a man in his 30s today who may have Ebola. The man was admitted to the hospital yesterday afternoon, coming through the emergency room. Doctors made sure he had no contact with anyone else. He has mild symptoms, headache and fever, but because he recently returned from West Africa, doctors have to take his illness very seriously. Doctors want to stress that patients and employees at the hospital are not at risk. A California woman is in jail today after police said a case of road rage led her to murder. The woman told police a motorcycle rider was weaving in and out of traffic and even kicked her car. But then the woman hit the rider and ran over him, according to police. The victim was identified as 39-year-old Zachary Biab, a member of the Navy's Special Operation Unit. Police charged 26-year-old Darlene Renee Jackson with murder. FAA investigators are expected to arrive sometime Saturday to try and determine what caused a plane crash in Texas, killing 3 family members. Authorities say the single-engine plane crashed in a field shortly after taking off. Authorities say it was not raining, but there were strong wind gusts at the time the plane took off. The plane was flying from Plainview to San Antonio.
A woman in Ohio will literally have to walk off her sentence for failing to pay her cab fare. Prosecutors say Victoria Bascom ordered a cab, rode from Cleveland to Painesville, Ohio, then bailed out without paying the fare. Lake County Judge Michael Cicconetti let her choose her sentence, either 60 days in jail or walk for 30 miles. The judge gave her 48 hours to complete the walk. 30 miles is the distance of the stolen cab ride. Former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley officially announced he is running for president on the Democratic ticket. O'Malley announced his candidacy before a crowd of supporters in Baltimore today. The former governor is now in the running for the same job as his friend Hillary Clinton. O'Malley endorsed Clinton during her 2008 presidential campaign, and the Clintons have even raised money for O'Malley throughout his political career.
Funeral services for blues singer B.B. King are taking place in his hometown of Indianola, Mississippi today. A gathering at his family's church will be followed by a private service at the B.B. King Museum later this evening. The museum will be King's final resting place. Thousands of people lined up to pay their respects yesterday to the musician whose career spanned over 60 years.
General Motors makes the biggest move so far to offer two separate systems, turning a car's dashboard screen into a smartphone. GM says both Apple's CarPlay and Google's Android Auto will be available in 7 2016 Chevrolet models starting this summer, and the Apple system will be available in 7 additional Chevy models. To get the systems, GM customers will have to purchase a Chevrolet equipped with the brand's MyLink touchscreens.
It's been pretty rainy lately, but I hear there's a dry spell on the way. Let's send it over to Tim Schmidt to find out when.
Yeah, that's right, Caitlin, and some drier weather. Finally, we'll be moving in to mid-Missouri later on this weekend and for a good part of this next coming week. Lots of clouds, though. That's kind of the story for us, and cool temperatures, too. The humidity is gone. If you've been outside, you've noticed that, but lots of clouds here for the next couple of hours, and it's going to be chilly. But some drier weather, as we mentioned, is going to be in the forecast, along with some below average temperatures. Your 8-day forecast is in just a little bit.
The German Navy pulled off a huge catch while patrolling the sea.
And an anti-Islam protest outside a mosque in Phoenix nearly led to a clash in the streets. Those stories and more later in the show.
We had rain every single weekend. This coming weekend doesn't look like that's going to be the case. So finally some drier weather, some more summer-like weather setting up for us too.
Yeah, looks like a pretty nice week next week compared to a day like today.
Yeah, it definitely does. More sunshine too.
Thanks, Tim.
Police had to maintain the peace at an anti-Islam protest in Phoenix.
We'll be back to tell you all about it after the break. It started as a protest against Islam outside a Phoenix mosque yesterday, but by the time it was over, it had turned into a collision of First Amendment ideals.
Reporter Kevin Kennedy has more on this story from Phoenix. Pakistani security forces launched a major operation today to hunt down the gunmen who hijacked 2 buses and killed at least 19 passengers in the southwestern province. The Home Minister says the violence took place in western Pakistan when around 20 gunmen abducted 25 passengers and killed 19. He says authorities recovered the remaining 6 passengers, one of whom is in critical condition.
The German Navy rescued 880 migrants from the waters off the coast of Libya. The German Navy frigate, which is part of the enlarged Triton operation, rescued the migrants about 35 miles northwest of the Libyan city of Abu Kamash. The migrants, including more than 100 women and 27 children, were aboard 6 boats. Some of them were rescued while they were in the water, struggling to stay afloat with their life vests.
A powerful earthquake struck today off Japan's Ogasawara Island south of Tokyo. The 7.8 magnitude quake caused several buildings in Tokyo to shake. The earthquake was extremely deep, leading officials to say there is no danger of a tsunami. Experts say to get a tsunami, a quake has to be closer to the surface. With this kind of deep quake, minimal damage is expected.
Tolton athletics have been making noise all year.
Girls soccer is just the latest to make a run at state. Highlights. Some bad-to-the-bone surfers went head-to-head against each other in California. Surfers were carrying surfboards and pups as they hit the waves. The event is part of the Incredible Dog Challenge at Huntington Beach State Park. The event is open to any dog whose owner wants to be a part of that. The Western Regional competition is taking place over the weekend.
Now here's a look at what's coming up tonight on KOMU-8 News at 9 and 10. Governor Nixon hosted the Capitol Campout this evening.
He talked to KOMU-8 News about the lawsuit against him and his plans for 2016. That's coming up at 9 and 10.
And just a recap of your weather for the evening, going to see some clouds, some chilly weather too. The winds are out of the north, keeping it rather chilly as well. Light jacket may be handy for us. We'll fall back into the lower 50s, and then tomorrow, lots of cloud cover, some afternoon sun possible for us. We'll be in the 60s and a lot of dry time in the next 8-day forecast for you. So the temperatures here for the next couple of days going to be a little bit below average, not so much pool weather, but you know, it is the next week is the first week of June, and then followed by that is summer. So summer is right around the corner for us, and we're going to be back into the 80s by the end of this week.
So the game's in rain delay. Do you know when it's going to be?
Yeah, so looks like all the rain's starting to clear up out in St. Louis, so we're going to get the Dodger-Cardinals game going here and probably here in just a little bit.